In this movie, smiling is the sign that your life will end at the hands of a demon no one has ever seen. Laura Weaver, a graduate student, goes to visit therapist Dr. Rose Cotter at a psychiatric ward. She admits to having witnessed her history professor take his own life just a few days prior. However, that's not all she saw. Since that day, she's been seeing people who aren't there, who seem to be smiling at her. This strange entity that takes on the form of different people told her that she is going to die a horrific death. With no one believing her, Laura had to turn to a psychiatrist. Before Rose can help her, Laura begins screaming, indicating that the demon is in the room with her. As she falls on the table and broke the pottery, Dr. Rose rushes to the phone to ask for help. As the phone starts ringing, she sees Laura standing upright, smiling, and holding a ceramic shard. Before she can help her, Laura takes her own life. Traumatized but not paying too much attention to the incident, Dr. Rose goes through the hospital and notices a man smiling at her. She goes back to check up on him, and that's when Carl begins screaming that Rose is going to die. Scared, Rose calls the nurses to help her, but when they arrive, Carl is sleeping in his bed. Worried that she was traumatized by the incident with Laura, Dr. Morgan tells her to take the week off. The hallucinations never stop. Rose's family starts to question her sanity, with some even thinking that she is dangerous. Not knowing what else to do, she visits her old therapist, Dr. Madeline. During the conversation, we realize that the woman we saw laying on the bed at the start of the movie was Rose's mother. Rose witnessed this suicide, which is why it torments her to this day. Relieved, Rose goes to her nephew's birthday party. The wonderful gift she brought was turned into a dead cat. The monster horrified the children when they saw it. Then, Rose saw Stephanie, a guest at the party, smiling at her, falling on the table and injuring her wrist. Rose realizes that she is a victim of a gruesome curse. With no one listening to her, she goes to her fiancé, Trevor. Just like everyone else, Trevor starts to think his fiancé is crazy. Rose decides to smash that like button. Oh no, in all seriousness, she decides to investigate the condition herself, and she realizes that Laura's professor was smiling right before taking his life. Rose immediately contacted the widow, pretending to be a reporter researching the strange death of her husband. At the house, Miss Munoz showed Rose all the drawings the professor left behind. She also told that her husband started behaving strangely after he witnessed a woman take her own life during a conference. Rose then told her that she is seeing the same thing the professor was seeing, but Miss Munoz chased her out of the house, thinking she's insane. Alone, Rose contacted the only person she could, her ex-boyfriend, Joel. Since he is a police detective, Rose thought he could help her track down more suicide cases similar to this one. And sure enough, they found video footage of numerous people taking their own lives. The common trait of all these suicides was that they witnessed a suicide just a few days prior to taking their own life. When Rose goes to talk to Trevor, the man she is supposed to spend the rest of her life with, Trevor betrays her. He contacted Dr. Madeline, Rose's therapist, and along with the help of her sister Holly, they were planning on quote-unquote curing her. Rose feels betrayed by the one person she loved the most. The fight escalates, and Holly compares Rose to their mother. Rose then snaps back, saying that no one knows what happened that day because no one was there. While Rose's hallucinations become worse and worse, Joel, her ex, is still investigating the murders. He found out that the longest a person had lasted after seeing the suicide was 7 days. He also found out that one man didn't die. His name is Robert Talley, and he was in jail. Joel and Rose decide to pay Robert a visit. During their meeting, Trevor tells them that he beat the monster by doing the unthinkable. He tells them that the only way to escape the monster is to take the life of someone else. When Rose tells him that she won't do it, Robert realizes that she has the monster inside of her. Horrified, he starts screaming at the security guards, telling them to take her away. Rose goes to her home, where she is talking to Madeline. During their conversation, Madeline begins to smile, which indicates to her that the monster took on the form of her therapist. The entity then warns her that she is running out of time. Thinking that the only way to stop the murder is to kill the first person who smiled at her, Rose goes to the hospital. She takes the largest kitchen knife she can find and drives to the hospital. No one sees her sneak in. She gets in Carl's hospital room, where she stabs him several times. Dr. Morgan walks in, but Rose doesn't stop. Eventually, Carl begins smiling, telling Rose that this is just another hallucination. In reality, she's in the hospital's parking lot. Dr. Morgan notices her in her car, but when he comes to greet her, he sees a knife on the passenger seat. Morgan calls the police as Rose drives away furiously. Not knowing what else to do, she thinks the best idea would be to visit her abandoned family home. She reasons that if no one sees her commit suicide, the monster will not possess someone else. However, the monster takes the form of her dead mother, fostering even more trauma inside Rose. This feeds the smiling entity, and Rose is forced to confront her childhood trauma. You see, Rose knew her mother was dying, but she still didn't call for help at the time. Feeling the power, her mother pins Rose on the floor. Thankfully, Rose manages to get her hands on a lamp. She crushes the lamp over her head and sets the monster on fire. As the monster burns, Rose exits her old family home. The house catches on fire, symbolizing that Rose confronted her childhood trauma and defeated it. The monster was finally killed. Relieved, she goes to Joel's house, the only person who trusted her this whole time. She asks Joel to spend the night at his house. Joel doesn't say a word. He has the same menacing smile on his face, and he tells her he will be with her forever. Everything that happened at her old family home was in Rose's head. She was in another hallucination. At that moment, Joel pulls up at the house. He tracked Rose's phone and found out she was at his house. Rose doesn't want the monster to take Joel, so she goes upstairs and barricades herself. Completely alone with her drama, Rose sees the monster once again. This time, the inhuman abomination tears apart its human face and reveals the most frightening sight in the world. The monster's true form is nothing but a giant humanoid without skin. Its body is made of the bodies of its previous victims, and its mouth is comprised of many jaws that have been overlaid one on top of the other. And that's when the misshapen mouth begins smiling at her. Seeing the true appearance of the monster traumatizes Rose, and she loses the ability to speak, scream, or do anything. She has a nervous breakdown and is paralyzed by the terrifying sight. Unable to move a muscle, this demonic entity could finally have all of her trauma. It then grabs Rose's mouth, stretches it abnormally wide, and begins to enter her body. The smile is now merged with her psyche. The circle is complete. With the curse finally ready, Rose pours gasoline all over her and is holding a match. That's when Joel enters the room and sees Rose's smiling face one last time before she sets herself on fire. The circle of the curse has been completed, and now Joel must now find a way to defeat the smiling monster. Subscribe for more videos like this, and turn on the notifications so you never miss any of them.